This was meant to be a season where we established ourselves. Instead, November and December hit us like a brick wall. 6 league games without a win, sliding down the table. 7 points from safety though at the end of the episode, but somehow in the middle of all this chaos we find ourselves in the Carabao Cup finals. So welcome back to the House of Munkys. I got to admit this one gets very uncomfortable just through the sheer lack of wins. But I'll show you the highlights nonetheless of all the games that we have. As you would have seen, Manchester City have already scored. A very tough game because they're at the top of the league. We do pull one back with Jurasek, who has been absolutely crazy for us. He's been a really good winger. Very happy with him so far. And remember, he's only on loan with the option to buy, which I probably will take up in the summer once we get a bit of funds back, because we've spent all our money. But yeah, like I say, very, very hard November, December. Even testing me as properly testing me as a manager on these games, I suppose, because it's not always plain sailing. You can't always win. So what do you do in those moments of time where you just feel like you keep losing, and nothing's going your way? But we, like I say, we do get a cup win later on, which I show you, but only by the skin of our teeth. So it really is a dismal December and November time for us, which is crazy. But we've got to realise that we have come up to a harder league. I'm trying to buy some players that'll strengthen us. So we are punching above our weight. I've got to give us credit there because we are favourites to go down. So let's not all doom and gloom and be hard on ourselves here. And then Manchester City, they're there for a reason. They're where they are because they've got such a good team and the funds to back them up. So why can't we aim for something like that and establish ourselves in this series? But yes, this was a very, very hard time. But like I say, testing me as a manager. But I stuck with my tactics. I tweaked them a little bit in terms of going to a more balanced approach rather than positive, just so that everyone's into a mentality where they're trying to defend a bit more rather than going all out attack, which we had been doing before. I feel that maybe I've got to strengthen the team a bit more, bring in better players in order to play that positively again, just like we did in the Championship. I don't want to go too extreme and start changing all the tactics because they have worked for us before. It's just that we're playing much better teams. So I'm guessing I'm trying to talk myself into changing tactics there, but maybe if the form does continue, then maybe we have a look at it and we'll see what else I can do. I just like the 4-3-3 with the options of the wingers and the target forward. I guess I'm very stubborn in my ways in that sense. So yeah, the next match then was Everton in the league. Like we lost 3-2 there, and we did have a man sent off in this game. That is not a penalty or anything, that is a red card. Not what we want. I think I have had a red card once or twice. We don't get many. I don't get many yellow cards as well because I do the thing where they like tackle lightly or stay on their feet if that's still a thing. But Everton, again, are another team that are on their way up the top on this save. They are a force to be reckoned with at the moment. So the fact that we had Man City and then Everton as a fixture lineup is just so unlucky for us. But we're leaking goals, so that's why I had gone for the more balanced approach in terms of the mentality, because we just need to be a bit more mindful on our defence. Because I think our defence, well, like I said in the first season of this save, the defence was a bit leaky, but our attack was absolutely great. So we were outscoring a lot of the times. And then in the second season, the one that we got promoted on and won the Championship by a lot of points, we'd shored up our defence there. We'd tightened them up, and we didn't concede as many goals. And as much as I like Sam Tickle, it's just I do think I know I've said it before, the match engine just goalkeepers just do the weird and silly things, and then I've realised because I've got such a rubbish backup keeper, I haven't got someone to swap Samtical with, so that is something I'm going to prioritise once we get a bit of money again. I'm going to bring in a very decent backup number 2 goalkeeper, and as you saw, we lost. We lost heavily against Everton as well. Come to Leeds though, and at the end of November, Leeds had a man sent off, and this is where we picked up our first and only win in this video. And like I say, we go on for a 6-match winless. Not what I want to be doing at all. I was really chuffed when we were having no losses and established ourselves with a defeatless run, but a winless run is it's just horrible. It's just the opposite feeling. It's sometimes you just want to chuck your controller, or that would have been me back in the day, like when I was younger. But now I just go off and walk, or go to one of my kids and then try and calm down a bit, have a bit of sense there. But yes, we won 2-0 against Leeds, and then someone's looking down on us. The board have increased our transfer budget. It's only slightly, but it'll do, because we do need those players. And like I say, massive 3-2 loss, and a penalty that we missed as well. Oh, a penalty we scored. I feel like we may have missed a penalty in there as well. Yeah, we did. Look, see, yeah, could have been 3-3, but star striker missed a penalty, which just adds to our rotten luck at the moment. That Roma friendly, we won 2-0, and the Everton match then as well, where we had a player sent off, so we're going to miss him for a few games, so we'll be relying on Small. But luckily I bring in some players that can play in different positions as well. So we have got the other centre back, the left-footed centre back, Chiarodia, and he can do a bit of a backup or a bit of a stint at left back as well if need be, and I can bring in Gibson or Paphos. So I do like that sometimes, where I try and pick up a few players that can are a bit versatile. I suppose having that versatility is really good. And then our fixtures look absolutely mental for December as well. Like I say, absolutely horrible. I'll show you why now. You got the likes of Liverpool there, Brentford, Nottingham Forest and Fulham, who are towards the bottom of the table as well, but not very good. And this is how the team's looking at the moment. I mean, Sam Tickle's playing absolutely well. He's got Bayer Leverkusen after him. And then there's other players that are bringing in a bit of interest as well. Kit Nelson, I'm going to have to offload in the summer. His contract expires anyway, so there's someone else off the books then. And Igbo's playing alright. Philogene is doing a lot of assists as well as Peck, so he is playing really well for me on the left wing. And then, like I say, the share of goals, because I play a tactic where everyone seems to just want to bag a goal each and then share the love, which is great. And I've been impressed with Joe Scally at right back. He hasn't put a foot wrong many a season, many a games this season so far. Like I say, that back four has got green, so they are doing a really good job. It's just hard in the Premier League once you transition and trying to custom. And Leroux, I'm really impressed with, and Peck. I think I'll give Leroux a new contract later on this season just to keep him, because he's been that good for us. And like I say, I'll have to bring Fabio in as a left back option for the moment, whilst Kabar is out suspended. Miles Pete Harris, I haven't really used him that much so far this season. Maybe bring him into the fold a bit more, because he does play very well. Look at that, 7.17. And Mason Burstow, should bring him a bit more. I'm like chopping and changing because I'm just trying to get those goals at the moment as well. So yeah, recruitment, now that we've got the £7 million injection from the board, thank you very much board, it's having a look at where we can spend. I've got it filtered onto strikers at the moment because I was thinking we do need a bit more goals. We do need a few more goals. This team could do with goals, so having a look, maybe someone we can bring in or someone we can loan. And my scouts had picked up Larson from Wolves, and then Brad Manguli, who's a defender. has been on my shortlist for a long time now. So it might be someone else that we might look at. Depending on what happens in January. You never know what happens. There'll be some other player that just takes your fancy and you end up spending on that, because that's what I always do. I don't buy what I need, I just go for the nice shiny player there. Great requests from the scouts, so I'll pick them up instead. I always do that, so hopefully I could be a bit more logical in the January transfer window, but we shall see in the next episode, because that's what I'll cover off. But next, it was back to the December games, and it was against Newcastle first, and Newcastle are a difficult team to break down and play against. And Small there, I thought he got fouled and he got back up again in the same movement. It was a bit of a weird glitch, but I took the goal anyway. I was like, surely that was a foul, but because it was playing on for the goal, I think that's why he glitched back up again. It was quite funny to see. Not seen anything like that before. Did make me laugh. But it wasn't long until Newcastle got back into the game then, and I'll take draws all day long, because draws, you're getting the points, you're building a gap against maybe some other unfortunate teams in those bottom three places in terms of those relegation battles. So every point does count. I see why they say it now, because it really does. Unless you're in the situation, you'll never understand what they mean, isn't it? Like it's quite crazy. But yes, every point counts for us so far. We need to establish ourselves, so. Yeah, Volta Mard getting a decent header in, and it was a 1-1 draw with that match. And then next up was Fulham. Fulham were at the bottom of the table at this point, so I was like, this is a must win, because they're in the relegation zone, and Kevin just ran up to our goalkeeper and put it under Sam Tickle's legs. And this is what I mean with the engine. I'm just like, what is going on there? And that was a 1-0 loss against Fulham. And then this is a very frustrating game against Nottingham Forest. So we took a 2-0 lead with a great goal. I love it when a winger cuts in and gets a goal like that. Jurasek, playing a winger in real life myself sometimes when I was much younger, cutting in and just banging a goal like that. Love it. And then I was 2 to the good with a Chiaradia header from Kabar. Absolutely great defensive header, not defensive, attacking header from a defender. That gets us our goal. But 2-0 up, and then Nottingham Forest were 2-1, so they still had half hour of the game left. So this was quite an important. I needed the win, so I changed to quite a defensive mentality, and I don't think it worked. Unfortunately, didn't work. And Nottingham Forest put us to the sword here to steal what would have been a really nice win for us to keep that gap. And yeah, Gibbs White put them 2-2. So I was very frustrated that we're giving up a 2-0 lead and then ended the game in 2-2. Hard. And then Bournemouth in the Carabao Cup. Again, just adding insult to injury with a Bournemouth are in the Championship in this save, so this is their second season in the Championship. So we were 1-0 down, and I was a bit frustrated because we really are in a bit of a slump at the moment. As you can see through the highlights, it's hard to get out of. I'm chopping and changing. I've given the backups the games in the Carabao Cup because they've had really good cup run with us, as you've seen in the previous episodes. So it was only natural that we still continued with this team, and then bring on the stronger players, who I deem stronger anyway, as substitutes then to help finish the game off. But I think we went 2-0 down just before half time, and it was going to look like it was another loss on the cards for us against the Championship side, which was just literally showing me how far the team had dropped. Yeah, very good goal. 2-0 down just before half time. So I think I made 5 substitutions at half time then, just because I was like, yep, we need to change something here. And I don't think it was, 63 minutes, so it took a fair bit of while for the team to come back. And come back they did. I'm really proud with, because we just had that 2-0 cushion evaporate against Nottingham Forest, so we had our turn at getting those 2 goals back. So Jurasek again, who's been in form, scoring quite a few goals in this video, so I've been really impressed with him. Like I say, I'm definitely going to see if I can trigger that loan to buy for 18 million, I think it might be. So not a lot of money in terms of how much you get in the transfers, so it'll be good to spend. I think 18 it'll be worth it. Do let me know if you don't agree in the comments to see what people think, because I don't always make the right decisions, so do let me know. And then I think we do get our second goal, because the second goal is quite vital here, because it takes the game to penalties, because there's no extra time anymore. I noticed there's no extra time anymore in the or a replay, etc. I think the replays are just for the FA Cup, but yeah, it was one of those where I thought, oh, 2 goals in the space of a couple of minutes, can we get a third to see the game off? But unfortunately we don't. But Hegebo putting us on equal terms again, and he's been a really good addition to the squad as well. A powerful striker, powerful. And then it went to penalties, but funnily enough, these penalty highlights don't actually show the one where Sam Tickle saved the penalty. It just shows you all the goals that were scored, and then it looks like we both get 4 goals for some reason. It's very strange in the highlights. So yeah, it was 1 apiece, and I believe Sam Tickle saved the second penalty, so it was literally then back to each team scoring a penalty. We scored all 5 of ours, so I'd picked the right formation, or the right. I made the right choices in order for the players, which I was happy about. Oh yeah, it does show you the save. Sam Tickle did save it. Oh, apologies. Yeah, see, saved a really good penalty there. I hate penalties as well. It's a cruel and horrible way to go out as well, because this is the quarter-final of the Carabao Cup, so it's a good cup run for both teams, especially Bournemouth if they're in the Championship. But when you're watching penalties, my heart is absolutely racing, because you just don't know which way it's going to go, and you're just literally relying on the players either slotting it, blasting it, or the keeper. That's the only the only 2 options is the spot taker and the keeper. But luckily everyone got him on target, no one missed, and like I say, Sam Tickle saved it. So that put us through to the semi-finals, which is 2-leg round. And then we played Liverpool in the league games again, and Hegebo capitalising on another goal, 2 in 2 games, and we took an early lead against Liverpool. So I was pleased with that, but you just never write off Liverpool, to be fair, because they are a very good team, very good team. I think they spent like 110 million on a player that's just on the bench from Tottenham. Can't pronounce his name. If he comes up, I'll show you, or try and say his name. But yeah, when you're spending that much money on a player that's going to sit on the bench, you know you're up against it. But then it's a questionable thing as well, so why is the AI in a game like this spending that much money to put a player on a bench? It just doesn't make sense sometimes. Maybe it's something that they can look into and fix. And we had an own goal as well, my first ever own goal in this save. I've had them in the past on other games, but that was just unfortunate. You can't, I've seen some own goals in my time, and that wasn't a bad one. He just slide tackled it into our own goal. He's trying to make a defensive slide tackle. Was just unfortunate. This goal, however, again, it's one of them where you just got to admire the sheer fact of how well that was taken on the volley. And we lost against Liverpool to add to our woes even further on our slump. And then we had Brentford next. Filogini, absolutely banging header on the back post. two wingers set each other up quite often, which is what I really like to see. And then we conceded another penalty. I think we conceded quite a few penalties because of the VAR addition. I think some of my players are a bit too frisky with the players, pushing them over or just conceding. They don't get booked or sent off for any of it. Just literally pushing people over. So that ended in a 1-1 draw. And another penalty against Crystal Palace, who are around mid-table as well at the moment on the save. So it was, and I think they've spent wisely because they've got Eddie Nketiah from Arsenal, very, very good striker. So he put them 1 goal to the good. And it's just difficult when you're not winning, as you've seen. It's so difficult to try and get heads. I did a motivating talk as well because they're still in the game, which is quite helpful. Just rallying the troops, rallying everybody together to remind them that we're here for a reason. And I know we are punching above our weight, which is great to see. But yeah, we need to survive. Because if we're to start winning Premier Leagues, challenging in the European competitions, then we need to survive. And it starts here. That path starts here. So these people are laying a foundation. These players are laying a foundation for us to seek our further glory later on. Because it'd be nice to win some more trophies. Now that we've won a championship trophy, I would like to win some more. And with a nice cup run into the semi-finals, we might win. We could get our first proper trophy. Oh, I say proper trophy, second proper trophy. And Fellaini again, 2 goals in 2 games, puts us 1-1 apiece. So yeah, having more trophies added to the cabinet and establishing ourselves as a historical manager for Preston North End will be great. I can walk away happy. That's what Road to Glory is all about, winning some trophies. Whilst I'm still having fun. I know it might seem a bit crazy when you're losing this many games, but it's these sort of challenges that I quite like as well, because you're trying to think outside of the box or trying to think differently. How do you change tactics, or how do you change your fortune when it's just not working, and then sticking to it as well. Not being like the stubborn person I am, sticking to it is quite important as well, I think. And it's just really hard to take, because all of these highlights are just showing how many times we've lost three or more goals. Like I say, it's going to be a difficult summer either way. Like, I need to tighten that defence up. I need to sort out the attack. Maybe the midfield could be a good place to have a look as well, because Leroux and Peck are very young, so maybe bringing in an experienced player. So that was our dismal December. Newcastle draw, Fulham loss, Nottingham Forest draw, Bournemouth win, taking us to the semi-finals. And who are we having in the semi-finals? Liverpool. So that's going to be a very, very difficult task indeed. And then we had Liverpool in the league, where we lost 2-1, Brentford a 1-1, and Crystal Palace a 3-1 loss. So December, it's just been horrible. But it's come at a good place in terms of the January transfer windows looming now. So we can have a look at how we strengthen ourselves with that 8 million, or see if anyone gets an offer in for them. Because if I get a high money offer for somebody, it will make me think about selling them. It'll be very tough. It'll be interesting, but it'll be tough because I've liked the players that we've brought so far. So January we got Aston Villa, Liverpool, Burnley twice. We've got Burnley in the FA Cup, Manchester United, Arsenal, West Ham and Brighton. It looks like we've done full circle now. We've played each team once and we're now playing the second legs against everybody. So yeah, Carabao Cup, furthest we've been, and this is where we are in the Premier League. So we were around mid-table and we've slumped to 16th. I'm not worried too much yet, because look at our goal difference. It's -3 in comparison to some of the other teams around us. So that in itself is a good thing, and we've got a 7-point cushion against 18th placed Aston Villa. with a game in hand. So if we can grab a few more points, it'll be good, I think. Because obviously halfway through the season now, we're doing much better than what I thought. Because look at Wrexham, 60 goals conceded, 13 scored, and Hull are quite high up. And it looks like, going through previous seasons, if you've got 38, 39, maybe 40 points, maybe hovering above 40 points, it looks like you're going to be safe. That was last season, and again, yes, look, 37, 39 was safe. So if Wrexham continue their poor form, they're a guarantee going down. Burnley, Aston Villa, they've got some quality in them to change their fortunes around. So we need to be away from all of that as much as possible, from a late light charge from being out of the relegation battle, because we don't want to find ourselves there. So yeah, it'll be difficult. And then our transfer budget and wage budget can be amended as well for bringing players in. So I'll be looking at loaning some players, I think, as well for January. Midfield, I think. Yeah, I'm going to go with midfield loanee, because it's only Pert Harris, Sadie Peck and Leroux as my midfield. So I'm a bit short there, I reckon. So having someone else, bringing someone else in will be helpful. It'll be tough. I reckon we've got the squad to do it, to survive, and then we can build from there once we got our funds regenerated or replenished for the summer. And it's getting these guys scoring again as well, because they've got the potential in them, according to my assistant manager, or my highest rated who judges potential and current ability. So we've got the players there. We just gotta get him singing again, because we were having a lot of goals from him and a lot of assists. So we just need to get our fortunes back on the right track. And then recruitment will be very, very important, like I say, this time round. And I've changed my database back, and these are all my very highly rated by the scouts. So maybe having a look around some of those guys, maybe having a look at my shortlist. I'm not too sure yet, because he's asked, Larson's asked, but he's a bit old. He's 27. Maybe that's the experience we need. I don't know. It'll be very, very food for thought. Surely food for thought there. But that's all we got time for this episode. January's going to be great, I think. It'll be interesting. So thank you for watching. Take care. I'll see you next time. Stay cheeky.